Slow versus fast. Lots of hood. No hood. High time to kill? Not so high time to kill. Casual versus hardcore. What happens when you go back? Welcome to the channel, my name is Tacti. I switched to PC about 3 years ago and started this YouTube channel. I had the high hopes of becoming a full-time YouTuber like my hero operator Drewski. I shifted from playing games like Call of Duty and Battlefield on my Xbox to primarily games like Sandstorm, Groundbreak, Zero Hour, occasionally Squad, and some others mixed in there. I wanted the realistic hardcore gaming experience that playing Xbox just couldn't offer me at the time. I wanted immersion on the next level, and if I'm honest, I just wanted a milsim LARP, but that's not really my personality at the moment, so I don't see that being in my future at all. So I transitioned to these games and have had a lot to learn. Over the past 3 years, I've learned how to move slow, check the verticality of each frame, manage recoil with a heavy emphasis on single fire, and learn teamwork. And now, here we are, almost 6,000 subscribers, still playing hardcore and tactical games almost daily. But recently, Battlefield 4 became available for free. I believe it's free until June 21st, so if you have Amazon Prime, you can redeem a code to pick up and start gaming on a modern shooter franchise that changed the game and has led to what will probably end up being a massive overhype for the next Battlefield 6. More info on that will be released in a few days. We'll just have to see how that game turns out in general. I try not to hype myself up too much. Anyway, I picked up this game and I started to get back into it. I had played this on Xbox and honestly I loved it. It was the closest thing to realism that I could get. I poured hours and hours into this game, and it was great. But since the transition to tactical games, there are a few things that stand out to me when I hopped back in, and I wanted to touch on those. First and foremost, for the most part, recoil control is non-existent. I'm used to stuff like this. In Battlefield, you hardly have to do anything. Aiming is easy. Real quick, watch this clip just like it's nothing. See, that came easy to me because I don't even have to hardly move the mouse. I just aim at their heads and I click it, which is fine, of course, but that's where that casuality, if that's a word, comes in. I feel like overall my aim has gotten a little bit better, which makes sense because I transitioned to a mouse and keyboard anyway, but regardless, you can see the difference. On the second note, while the hardcore shooter genre may do a better job at immersive animations and maps with incredible details, Battlefield has some incredible environmental aspects that these hardcore shooters just can't match, and it's mostly because these hardcore shooters are primarily created by indie devs and they've got limited resources. The levolutions on some of these maps are just unreal, and the idea of destructible environments is something that has yet to be matched by any other multiplayer game, as far as shooters go anyway. And that's what makes Battlefield so enticing, because it really does look good. I mean, the environments look fantastic, the textures. You add some levolution onto that, some destructible environments, some buildings that are falling down. I'm not sure how you can beat that. Third, Battlefield really doesn't care much for teamwork. Nobody uses VoIP, nobody talks, and while there is a squad lead system, hardly anybody follows that, including me. I'll admit that, including me. Mostly because the game doesn't do a great job of promoting playing the objective, because the fun part is just flanking people and getting kills. Hardcore tactical shooters, on the other hand, usually focus on this a little bit better. People care more about winning the match and racking up kills, though this is a generalization and not true for everybody, of course. I think maybe it's just the two different mindsets, because hardcore shooter gamers want to be more tactical, they want to be more slow, they want to be methodical about their movements and their approaches, and Battlefield players normally just want to hop in for a few hours. They don't have an exact plan, they just want to be playing the game. And lastly, hardcore shooters have taught me to check my corners. I remember back in the day when I would play Battlefield, kind of just like I just described, I'd just rush in without a care in the world. I notice now that I'm a bit more cautious, and when I enter a building, that can be a very good thing. I'm no pro, of course, but I do have better awareness since returning to the franchise, at least this play session.
Overall, my experience coming back to this game was pretty nostalgic. I love the feeling that I get when playing this game because it just reminds me of, I guess, the days before. Not that I don't like the days now, but the days before didn't really have a whole lot of cares in the world. That was a good time, but now, I have more responsibilities, which is fantastic. It's definitely worth it. Definitely recommend getting married and having kids. Really, the point of this video was just to share with you how to pick this up on Prime for free and just kind of take a look back and see how much things have changed. And I wanted to thank you guys as well, because we are almost at 6,000 subscribers. So Battlefield likely is not something that's going to be coming to this channel unless there's a incredibly high demand for it. So if that's something you want, I guess put it down in the comments below. I'll likely pick up Battlefield 6, but it probably just won't have a whole lot of time for it. So we'll just have to see. Thank you so much for watching. I always appreciate your time. I appreciate your input. Literally, this channel would be nothing without you. So thank you so much for taking the time to watch my videos, to comment, subscribe, like, all those things. You guys are awesome. That wraps it up for this one. Until next time, stay tactical.